to our reading and reflection. But like you can always, please feel free to share your gratitude points in our chat room. Okay, now let's move to the main part of this program, which is reading Mother's Memoir and Reflection. For that, let's welcome Dr. Reverend Marie Curry.
Good morning. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Pastor Jake. Will there be screen share today, or do I just read from my book?
Yeah, you might need to read from your book.
Just wanted to confirm before I started. Okay, so we are on page 146, and we're on section Songs of Victory Ring Out from Danbury. My husband and I were well aware of the many who opposed us. The charge of brainwashing was a recurring accusation. Scurrilous criticism always followed my husband and me. But such is the story of God's history, and we understood why. The movement against us in the United States reached its crescendo in the late 1970s. The Washington Monument Rally was a tipping point for those who hoped our movement would fail, and critics and fearmongers now envision the unification principle spreading like wildfire throughout America. Donald Frazier, a congressman from Minnesota, took the lead on Capitol Hill, opening a hearing in the House Foreign Affairs Committee. We would be accused of involvement in a political scandal nicknamed Koreagate in the press. It had nothing to do with us except that we were from Korea, but it was gaining publicity from members of Congress. After Congressman Frazier chaired the hearing that investigated, without result, our movement in March and April of 1978, he failed in his campaign to win a seat in the U.S. Senate. In 1980, however, he became mayor of Minneapolis, and he later signed a proclamation welcoming my husband and me to that fair city. With a congressional committee coming up empty-handed, those who wanted to convict my husband of something, anything, asked the Internal Revenue Service to investigate us. Beginning in the late 1970s, our church was subjected to the full IRS audit. We opened our books confident that we had done nothing wrong. For 2 years, we even provided a private office for an IRS team in our Manhattan headquarters buildings. I have lived a life of sacrifice and service for America and the world, Father Moon declared publicly. I have nothing to be ashamed of. This case is the result of racism and religious prejudice. When I was preparing for this session, I've been reading the sections every day. It made my heart very, very heavy. Though I wasn't there, my empathy is very strong, and just feeling the pressure, the anguish of our early members of True Parents during this time, knowing that they're here for God and a good purpose, and that they're here to save, and what they were doing is being investigated and persecuted. Even if there was nothing there, digging. They had a purpose to do. Our True Parents, God, had a vision that needed to be done. And instead of being able to focus fully on that, they had to fight the attacks of negativity and evil day in and day out. Because when they couldn't find anything, those that feared dug even deeper. And what this brought to mind is the importance of being vigilant, the importance of doing conditions, of connecting to your center and constantly connecting to God when you're doing God's work. Because without fail, when we are on this right path, because all True Parents wanted to bring, all the principle brought was goodness and positivity and growth and protection, right? When you read the divine principle, what is bad about that? So who cares if the divine principle spreads across the nation? But there was fear instilled in the government, in groups of people. And And so that just reminds me that even for today, right, as we are as mothers calling us to do these beyond human things, right, these things that are bigger than possible, that we must continue to do our physical efforts as well as our spiritual efforts, which is why it's so amazing that we're all here in the mornings doing morning devotions as an act of that type of protection. But anyways, that's one of the main things that this section reminded me of. The only way to survive and to push away these negativities is if we keep moving and keep putting out the spiritual jeongseong as well. Another thing as a blessed child that really stood out for me from this was how formidable a fire we must have been to incite so much fear and concern from those in power. You know, it's like, oh my goodness, we are a powerful force, even more powerful than I realized. That this section reminded me, like, wow, if they did all in their power to try to stop us, how much power, how much a foundation we must have laid. And the fact that we're still here means that we are victorious, that you all were victorious. And for me, I was so grateful for that. For me, it reminded that our generation needs you, all of our elder generation, so much to learn from, to guide us, to be with us every step of the way. I know there's a lot of talk of young people inheriting, right? The next generation inheriting, but that doesn't mean that we're meant to inherit it alone and that we don't need our elders and our elders don't need to be right by our side. We can't do this without you. We have so much to learn and to continue to work with you on. And that was really, this is something that I felt for a long time, but I feel from this section even more so, is that in order for us to survive what's coming next, we need all of us working together, because our elders have faced all these different things, and we need all of that historical knowledge, historical grit to really support Mother now when she's being fought on all fronts. And the final thing that came to me when reading this section that that really comforted my heart, as sad as this section was, right? Because it was religious persecution. It was attack. It was the negative powers that be, Satan, trying to destroy, trying to stop something so powerful and beautiful. But from this, I also found security. Knowing that our community was beyond reproach, that all the government could find with all of their diligent digging, all that they could use against our true parents and our church was a silly, simple tax evasion charge of not even that much money, even for the time. They try to, and when government wants to find something and dig and put their resources to, it's not like it's going to be, they're going to find something to pull up, and that's all that they could find. And I know that I'm not adept at all the history and all the facts. I feel very humbled following Dr. Ward. I was very nervous when I was asked to present this particular section, because I know how amazing a job he probably would have done giving us so many facts. But as someone reading the autobiography, without being there, without being a true historian, that just reading that, it's like we have such a strong foundation to stand on, and no matter if something was there to be found, it would have been found. And I know that's a really important point of integrity for me, and a really important point of security. I know it seems simple, but there's so much growing up in this church and going to school and going to, like, being in this world. There's so many attacks and so many things that try to erode your faith. And people have tried, like when I was in college, people tried to tell me, like, do you know how bad your church is? I want to make sure I love you. I want to make sure that you're safe. And I'm like, oh, we're not bad. Look at all the good we're doing. But because of the way the media portrayed things, it's so easy for them to dig up the bad stuff, right? But really, if there was more bad stuff, there would have been even greater persecution. And so I guess what I got from this is, at the end of the day, just to wrap it up all in a bow, is that when we're doing God's work, we have to make sure that we're diligent on all levels to pray as individuals, as families, and to do whatever conditions we can to spiritually protect, that we can't be afraid of those that go against us, that we have to stand bold like our true parents did in the fight of the worst accusations, that they kept going. And so therefore we must keep going. That we have to work together as elders and younger so that we don't repeat the same mistakes, and so that we can build this final victory for 2025 with True Mother. And that we can't forget who we are, that we are God's movement, that each one of us, no matter what mistakes we made, that we are God's children, and that we have a special mission, and that even with our mistakes, with the hearts that we have for God and true parents, that is our badge of honor, that is our armor, that is all that we need to push forth in whatever God-given mission we have, whether it is taking care of our families and raising godly children, or if it is to be ACLC or Women's Fed. So I guess that's what's come from my heart. I'm sorry, I think I went a little bit above time, but thank you so much for listening. God bless you all, and have a wonderful day.
Oh, thank you so much, Reverend Mary Carey, for that heartfelt, encouraging, and inspiring reflection. Okay, now let's proceed to our breakout. Those who want, please, let's share our reflection from the reading or from Dr. Reverend Mary Carey's reflection. See you later. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a good sharing with your breakout team. Me too. I really had a good breakout sharing with my breakout team. So due to our time, so we will not have testimony today. But yeah, we can proceed now to our Chongshimon prayer and announcement. For that, may I call on our assistant pastor Atsushi Takino.
Good morning. Good morning. Sorry, we have an internet issue, so I'm using my cell phone, smartphone, with the Shana today. So today we have a end of the year program for the working with all affiliated organizations, UPF, ACLC, Women's Federation, and Ocean Tribes, and Family Fed together at the Hilton Hotel. And I had 89 people or 90 people join participate this event. So this is this is actually the one of the the new start 2024. We work more together, and the personal key is actually vision is even they are the affiliated organization, at least they can some part contribute to the family fed. So, like inviting people to become the members or contribute to the family fed. And tomorrow is the last day of the 2023. We have a Sunday service, but before we have Sunday service, 9 a.m. People who couldn't receive the holy candle of the tree of all things. So we have one last opportunity tomorrow from 9 a.m. So people who participate the autumn great workshop and they missed to receive the holy candle to receive the grace, blessing from the tree of all things. Please bring your Chonilgu candle and attend to the Chonshimon prayer room. And we have a midnight prayer tomorrow night from 11:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. So today, because Shana came from the home, so I like to, she come back from the GPA program, so I like to pass to Shana.
So yeah, please join me in prayer. Dear God, our most beloved Holy Parent, and to our precious true parents, we want to say good morning and greet you here from the Chuncheon in Clifton, New Jersey, a representative of all the Chuncheons across all the states of America. As everyone is gathering here virtually from homes all across New Jersey and the East Coast. So it's a really sacred time, Heavenly Parents, where we can invite you into our hearts, invite you into our lives today. Really starting this day with you, it's so powerful, just inviting you into our day, not only alone, but as community. I pray that we can put action to the words we spoke today to one another, our community, brothers and sisters, and the words we will speak to you in this unison prayer soon. That the prayers we say are only powerful when we act on them. And so I want to pray that we can do so and continue to grow. And most of all, Heavenly Parent, whatever questions we have or things that come up in our hearts, we can come to you. It's so easy to question and doubt within our own heads or, in relationship with others. But I pray we can really believe our beliefs strongly and doubt those doubts and offer them up to you most of all and find guidance spiritually. Thank you so much for this new day, for this beautiful day, happy day. We offer it all up to you. And as we begin, and I want to report the prayer as a representative in all of our names, and my name, Shauna Lewis, oldest daughter of Peter and Monica Lewis family. Amen. Aju.
Drew, thank you so much, Shauna, for the wonderful prayer. Now let's have our unison prayer. Would you please unmute? Good. Morning,
아버지,
Good morning,
어머니,
Good morning, sister.
아버지,
Good morning.
어머니,
As much
아버지,
Father,
어머니,
Lord,
Heavenly Father, dear parents in heaven and earth, I know that reach
we
this day,
pray that one day
fulfill
that
your
we
will, your wish, your desire,
communion,
your hope,
Father,
your joy,
really appreciate
for the
that
eternal
we
kingdom of the
live and reign without you, Mother,
Heavenly Parents. Was
Thank you very much for
and
quickly and easily be entered into
grace
at the
to
time
reach
living in this no in the world
with your love and your light.
is I love
leaders
above all others. This creates
But in your love,
people and
really
created
pray
the
that
house
you
to set community leaders
in the
development
spirit
grant us
you have
vision to be the one and that
the resources
we can
to
embrace
open up
joy and
and
determination, take off
registration
and devotion of years, pray for the spirit of wisdom complete with you and your and your children you, all our brothers and sisters, and the apostles and all the
especially for new
severe
spiritual
evil warnings and hiding places.
spiritual mother
Pray
to
to all the
restore
Lord
wisdom.
and
This
charity,
is very
for wisdom and proper wisdom,
beautiful opportunity
for
for us
walking in the Father,
find us
Heavenly Father,
make us
unity and love each other,
really with a good
and gracious Heavenly Parent, pray for Dr.
we
all the
Wherever you go, lead and turn around and Robert, Victoria, and Lily,
let us develop your leadership
Barb, John, Lily,
and let the brother pass away.
Carolyn, Jeremiah, Mother, Wanda, Heavenly Father, Donnie, and
Let
Sister
us
Joanna,
pray
Sister
that we will
I
also
pray,
be
Heavenly Father,
really understand
Spirit, Ruth,
feel our heart
Joseph, Skipper Michael, for doing all the
especially
things
all the with us and
receive your love and love
the
Spirit, Holy Spirit,
all the brothers
and and Ali,
for
and
difficult situations along
Isaac,
the
pray in the Trinity, bless those who wear letters and
back
that we could have a
here
holy
for the best
Christmas
pro missionaries given wherever they are
Africa, America,
let us
AJ, Heavenly
really
Father,
very
Sister
open
Leslie,
June. Thank you so much, brothers and sisters. And we would like again to apologize for our technical difficulty, but no one can stop us. And thank you for, there's always a way. And thank you for really being with us this morning. Actually, we have 89 participants this morning. I think one of the biggest or largest participants for this year. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you. Happy Saturday.
God
Happy
bless
Saturday,
everyone.
great day,
Stay safe the rest of the year.
New Year.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
have a nice
Mari.
day.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for saving us.
Okay, see you
Tomorrow.
Happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year's Eve. Happy
Tomorrow.
New
Yeah.
Year's Eve.
Anna, thank you for your prayers.
Pastor now, Kiwi.
You're
Happy New Year,
wonderful.
everyone.
Oh.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Jose, can 5 seconds.
Channel
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.